NBA totals live. This is going to be looking at Thursday's matchups here, which is just two games. That's pretty much it going on the card today. So we're going to go ahead and take a close look at those. And I'm just going to have one play on the totals. That's it. There's only two games out there. So let's just go ahead and we'll start breaking these down in just one sec. And I'll let you know about the schedule. As well, as always, don't forget SBRpicks.com, Sportsbook review, sign-up bonuses, all that good stuff. Facebook page, YouTube channel. Gosh, a lot of handicappers out there. All the numbers, all the odds, all the totals. Got to check it out. Okay, so the schedule real quick. Yesterday we were 2-1 in our totals, so that's good. But going forward, we're going to have there's not going to be there's really no NBA going on except for the All-Star game coming up. But we will have our NCAA segment out there for totals. And yeah, Ninja just said, you're on live. You don't need your headset. Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead, as I'm going to record this as well, and we're going to go ahead and upload that so people can catch it later on our YouTube channel. So that's why I got the headset on, because I'm recording this. So thank you. Yeah, I didn't do it the other day because my computer was bugging. Sorry, I digress. Okay, so going forward, so tomorrow we'll have a video for NCAA totals. I'm going to have articles out there as well for my NCAA picks. Those have actually been going pretty well. But those are more my own personal picks. Like I mentioned before, the NBA total segment and the NCAA total segment that I do for Sportsbook review, those are, of course, not all the picks I have personally. So just to let you guys know. Let's see. What else we got? All-Star games coming up. Still don't have a total on that. So I'm waiting for that to come out. That's going to be fantastic. That total is going to be insane. There's a rookies and sophomores game coming up tomorrow, but I have nothing on that. Those are always kind of really tough. You just never know how those guys are going to play. But I do have a totals pick today, so that's what we're going to talk about. As well, I got my NCAA segment. You got to check that one out. That's been going really well. Just 1-1 yesterday. I kind of like those plays today, though, so you want to check those out. And let's talk about some totals. All right, so I looked at the Washington. There's two games, Washington, Indiana, and Boston and Chicago. I looked at that Washington-Indiana game for a while now. They've matched up a few times this year, just as recently, as just last week. And the line's gone from 217 to 215.5. That's across the board at Sportsbook Review. I have no play on that. And the reason why I have no play on that, I think odds makers have nailed it. Every single game they've played have been right around this number, if you just check it. I mean, I could bring it up for you if you want. Look it up if you want. I'm not going to bring it up because I want to talk about that Chicago-Boston play. But they've been like right around that 212, 219, like all around that area. So there's really no play for me on that one. And I kind of like Indiana a little bit getting the points, even though they're on the second leg of a back-to-back. However, I'm going to lay off that game. That's just a no play for me. Boston and Chicago, however, I have two plays. I like Boston. I have a write-up on that. I think they win this game. They're great they've been great off back-to-backs, and I like the over. So that's going to be my one play today. Is over the total with Boston is my official totals pick, and then non-official that I haven't been really keeping record of as far as Sportsbook Review is concerned, because this is a total segment, is I do like Boston at a pick. Some place that was -1, it was +1. I like them. I think they're going to beat Chicago. They've been great off a back-to-back. Let me tell you why I like the over. So right now, it's gone from 212 to 214. Now, I'm locked in at 213. So my play is at 213. Let's see where the line moves before. I got it at 213. At 214, I don't mind taking them over on that. I think this is going to go well over the total because, Boston, now they matched up way earlier in November, so that doesn't really matter. I mean, that was a 107-100 final, and then they played one of the first games of the season. But again, we have a total set by odds makers that's bigger than we've seen between Boston and Chicago ever. I mean, they've never had a total this high, and this has been a theme this year. You guys heard me say this a ton of times. You're probably sick of it. Since 2004, we've never seen a total this high. 212 is what it came out at. Now it's at 214. But the last two totals they've had this season, 207.5 and 209, and they went under on both of those. But yet odds makers felt compelled to come out at 212. The reason for that is Boston off their back-to-backs, the second leg, they've really put up with points, and they've been getting up and down with people. Now, Chicago looks like everyone's healthy, and they're coming off a rest. They should be able to score, even though they have picked things up on the defensive end this season. But let me tell you what I'm talking about. This is predicated on Boston coming in and putting up some points. So let's take a look at this. So Boston, let's look at their back-to-backs. The last few times I'm going to talk about the second leg of a back-to-back, which they're on tonight, versus Portland. I'm going to tell about the finals. Versus Portland, 231 points. Prior to that, versus Milwaukee, 220 points. Prior to that, Houston, 229 points. Are you catching the theme here? Prior to that, Washington, 225 points. Prior to that, New Orleans, 225 points. Prior to that, Oklahoma City, almost 229 points. So you see where I'm getting at here? I mean, their last several games here, we've seen them. That second leg of a back-to-back, they're getting up and down the floor. Now, the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is the fact that that's Oklahoma City and New Orleans and Washington, or excuse me, Houston and Milwaukee, teams that have just a little bit different dynamics than Chicago. However, I think the trend is solid, and oddsmakers coming out with a big number, I think there's a good reason for that. Boston is really weird. They could score so fast, and they just, because they love to shoot the three. I mean, they could put up 30, 35 points in a quarter like that. So, and I think Chicago's going to be able to score as well because Boston loves to get push some tempo. Not as much as last year. Last year they ranked like in the top 2 or 3 with Golden State and Oklahoma City as far as tempo. They're not as fast this year so far. They focus a little bit more on the defensive end, but still, with the way that it's been going this year, I think over is the right way to go. So I'm going to go back over that total. It's not a lock or anything like that, but I think they get there. That's it. That's my one play today. Let's talk about some comments, what you guys have to say, and we'll go ahead and we will move on with our days. Pretty quick segment. Hello, Joseph. Okay, Ninja. Boston versus Chicago. First half is 101.5. Really? Let me double check that. Let me see what my book says on that. So Ninja says that the first half on Boston and Chicago, the over-under is 101.5. I have 102. Yeah, that is weird. That's really weird. Maybe, I don't know. Odds makers have all the math on that. I don't. That might be an underplay. That's because I like to go, try and go with the odds makers because they're usually right more often than not. That's an interesting line. Yeah, you're right. I'm just going to go ahead and not comment about that. I don't know what to say about that. Let me go back to some first comments here. Okay, Ninja had Wisconsin versus Michigan. Under on that. What about the picks on that? I have no picks on that. I think Michigan beats them at home. Michigan's tough this year, but I have the under on that play in my NCAA segment. You definitely want to check out that NCAA segment. Since you like college totals better, why don't you do the college total? Yeah, actually, I've spoken with Sportsbook Review about doing just a college segment and doing that live. But for right now, we're rolling with this NBA. I am covering some of that as we do this live segment because we get into college a little bit. So maybe next season that's something we'll look into. Maybe I'll be able to do both, something like that. So thanks, Jeff. Yeah, we'll think about that. And let's see what else we got here. Got the jacket on. Yeah, let me tell you about this jacket real quick. Hold on, and then I'll get back. Okay, so Julius John says you got the jacket on. So I mentioned this the other day talking about my clothing, and I mentioned the fact that I have 2 kids and a beautiful Japanese wife. So the race is over for me. I don't need to look good. But yeah, this jacket, this is my oldest jacket. I've had this thing for 10 years. And I got it cheap at a Japanese store, and it's still perfect. And it cost me like $20. For some reason, I wear it, especially like on Fridays, where it's kind of a casual day for me. So yeah, just to mention. Joseph, what do you think of Little Rock? Big man on campus. Yeah, he does good stuff. Check out our other handicappers. Said stay away from them. Do not bet them as of now. What is your feeling, and how do you feel about College of Charleston? Yeah, I looked at I like College of Charleston plays great defense. I don't like them at a -2 today because I believe they're on the road, right? And give me one sec. So College of Charleston, yeah, I looked at that for a second, but I'm staying away from that one. What I do like, though, for NCAA picks, I kind of like James Madison at home against William and Mary getting the 4, and I like Northeastern getting the 4.5 at home because they're at home. I was looking at that Elon game for a little bit too, but that's a revenge game for Towson. Um, one sec, let me get to that COC game. Where's that at? I'm at. See, that's the great thing about Sportsbook Review. We got the website up here, all sorts of numbers to look at. All the sports books are there. Sign up bonuses, guys. You gotta check it out, man. I'm telling you, best website out there. I love working for Sportsbook Review because it has all the information. Um, where is that? I'm really sorry, man. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they got Hofstra. I like Hofstra. Hofstra's not bad. Um, right now I got Charleston. It went from -1.5 to -1. Hofstra at home, they can be really scrappy. So yeah, I don't know. I got you say -2. I got it -1 at Sportsbook Review at all the sports books. So if you like Charleston, this would be the time to lock them in at that -1. I have no play on that. If I was going to take it though, I'd take Hofstra. What else we got? Okay, okay, I only got about 5 more minutes, so let's do this real quick. Do you break down any other sports other than basketball? Yeah, actually, well, college basketball is my number one for handicapping. That's usually my most profitable across the board. NBA would be, well, Major League Baseball, I'm probably going to have a segment out there for Major League Baseball. Baseball is great. Baseball, you can really profit because you get those good plus money lines. So maybe that's a segment we'll do for baseball. Maybe we'll do a total segment for baseball, or maybe a dog of the day or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, I do baseball. So basketball and baseball are my main. I stay away from the NFL because odds makers have that locked in. Plus, for me, NFL, it's every Sunday, or well, now they have the Monday night, Thursday night, but there's not enough games for me to make a profit as far as the percentage I go over the long term. So and NFL lines are always really tough for me. I don't handicap NFL very well. College football, though, is great. I usually do okay in college football. Actually, I have evidence of all this too, but I'll get into that at another time, just so you guys know I'm not just talking. Celtics should beat Chicago, but the line moved 1.5 points. I had them at a pick. At 1.5, I'd still take him. Marshall at -5. I have no play on that. Ninja. Wright State -5. I got no play on that. Great call on the Nets. Yeah, I kind of want them to win that game. Yeah, okay. So Desi chimes in. Do you like the Aggies tonight? That game really got me looking hard. And as I started looking, I decided to stay away from it. And I'm going to tell you why. I saw Texas A&M they got them at +4 at Vanderbilt. I think they can win that game because they lost to Vanderbilt at home. That's a good Texas A&M team as far as the defensive end. But on the road, I mean, I looked at them. They can really struggle. Vanderbilt has that really quirky court as well, and I kind of like their new coach. I believe it's is Drew. Drew's their new head coach. The guy who played at Baylor. Vanderbilt can be okay at times as well. I'm not feeling the Aggies. Right now, last time I saw it was -115 at a +4, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to lay off that one. That was, I kind of like Texas A&M, honestly, but I'm going to lay off that. Okay. You guys are really chiming down the college hoops. North Kentucky and Cleveland State, I got no play on that. I looked at that one just for a second. There was, let me tell you just real quick. Let me share with you how I do my college picks. A ton of research, first of all, but I go through the lines and every single game. And just because I've been doing this for a long time, when something looks off, that's when I'll double up my research. If the line looks about right, there's no play. There's no value, so I don't play it. And it's kind of the same thing for NBA. You have to look at the lines, and that's why you have Sportsbook Review. That's why you got to check out the lines. And then when you see something that looks a little bit off, that's when I start to double check. So when the line looks right, I don't really bother with it. Jeff Bailey, I've been through an earthquake. Yeah, in Japan. Yeah, we had one actually a little while ago, and yeah, it was pretty hectic. But I'm pretty close to Tokyo, and yeah, we've had some. Yeah, baseball's right around the corner. That's right. College basketball can be really profitable because there's so many games. It's hard for odds makers, I believe. Well, not really, because they're excellent at what they do. But there's good value, especially at the beginning of the season. You can really get into the beginning of season. My favorite thing to do with college basketball, plus money line. Love it. Lots of upsets. You can really make a nice profit to get your bankroll set for the season. I like Vanderbilt. Okay, Bryce, good luck to you. I kind of like Texas A&M in that, but that's okay. Drexel and Delaware. No, I have no information on that, but I like Drexel when they're at home. I had them the other day, actually. If I don't know if I mentioned it on this section, but I had them the other day. Who did they play? I had them on upset alert. Hold on, that's going to drive me crazy. But I actually had Drexel on the plus money line against which team? It was one of the higher ranked teams in the league. Hold on, let me bring up that league real quick. But Drexel and Delaware, I got nothing on that. That CAA league, the Colonial, is very interesting as far as the home teams are concerned. But I had Drexel versus William and Mary. I had them on the upset there. They were getting points against well, as they should, against a William and Mary team that that's in the middle of the league, and Drexel was the dredge. But I was looking at Drexel, and they were actually decently competitive in a lot of games. So I grabbed them on the plus money line, and they won that game. Just to let you know, I kind of like those mid majors. I like them when they're at home because there's a lot of parity in those leagues. If you ever notice that, you'll get like one top dog, but then the rest of them are really competitive. They'll lose on the road, win at home. I mean, look at the CAA. I mean, look at their records. You got from the third team down, you got 9-5, 8-6, 8-6, 7-7, 5-9, 5-9, as it should be. So, but you got to look for those teams when they're at home, playing a team that's just above them and they're getting points. There's value there, really. You don't even need to do a ton of research on the players or the coaches for that. That's the numbers play. NBA spread picks. I already said I like Boston. Youngstown State, they're a really fast team. I know that, but I got no play on that. And any idea on Mate says something, but what about Serbian basketball? Yes, for Serbian basketball, I like the Goosenecks versus the Dragon Ladies. That's going to be a great matchup. The Goosenecks have a really good center and a really good point guard, and the Dragon Ladies, they're really struggling on the defensive end. So for the Serbian league, yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't know what I'm talking about. Is there good ball in the Serbian league? I don't know. Oh, you must. Maybe you're talking about the Colonial. Okay. Sorry, that was. I'm sure there's some good action in the Serbian league, but I got nothing on that. Anyways, I thought that was funny. Maybe you don't think so. Anyways, that's it. So, all right. Cheers, Mate. Yeah, I'm just playing with you, brother. Joseph. Yeah. No, I appreciate you guys too. You guys are great. And let's go ahead and let's sign off. So again, I like Boston, and I like the over in that matchup. Indiana-Washington is going to be a fun one to watch. A couple college picks out there. NCAA segment, got to check that out. Check out other handicappers, sbrpicks.com, Sportsbook review. And I will be back with some videos this weekend. We'll be back live next week. When NBA picks back up, look for our live segment again. We'll be back first day of NBA. We'll be back live 4 o'clock Eastern. So take a look out for that, and I wish you guys luck on your picks today.